Okay guys, so I've wanted to make this video for a little while now, and it's been on my mind. I've been thinking about it because we all know Tekken 8 is coming out very soon, and we're going to be getting all sorts of characters for DLC. And we know that the roster is going to grow probably to a size of 50. Now I don't know if that's just going to be exclusively Tekken characters or if that's going to include guest characters this time. My money would go on it being with guest characters. And I was kind of against guest characters for a little while just because the Tekken roster is so big and there's so many fighting styles, and undoubtedly there's going to be people that miss out. But since we are likely going to get guest characters, I thought why not make a list of characters that I would like to see from different games, different animes, different movies. So a whole different universe. Now Tekken 7 opened the floodgates as far as I'm concerned. Akuma wasn't too left field for me because Akuma exists in Street Fighter, and Street Fighter is like the sister fighting game to Tekken, if you will. You know, it's the king of the 2D and Tekken is the king of the 3D. So for me, that crossover wasn't really too surprising, especially because we had Street Fighter versus Tekken not too long before that, and we were told we were going to be getting Tekken versus Street Fighter at some point, even though that project looks pretty much dead at this point. After that, the floodgates sort of opened. Then we got Noctis from Final Fantasy and Negan from The Walking Dead. Geese again wasn't too much of a big deal because it's King of Fighters or Fatal Fury, and to me it was just like, you know, these kind of exist in the same sort of realm. So Akuma and Geese, I was whatever with. Noctis and Negan's the one that made me think, okay, all the bets are off here basically, anything goes. So I've compiled a list of 10 characters. Now I don't know if I want them all in one game, but these are the characters that I would like to see show up in Tekken if we're going to get guest characters. Maybe 5 of them, but I'm going to give you 10 of mine, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section. Now I'm going to explain each one. Now I wrote these down, but these were off the top of my head. They were the 10 that I was thinking of anyway. So I'll give you a reason for each one. So we'll start at the very top. This is going to be in no particular order, and I have to warn you, there's a couple of them in there that are really left field, and that is because obviously of Negan's inclusion. So to start with is Akira from Virtua Fighter. Now the reason that I want Akira in this game is because I really like Virtua Fighter, and I feel like when Tekken does well, because it's the king of 3D fighting games, all the other fighting games do well as well. The same way where Street Fighter does well, other 2D fighting games really benefit from it. Now I want to see Virtua Fighter come back in a big way. I genuinely enjoy playing it. I still play it on my own quite often. I had some Virtua Fighter content on the channel not too long ago. It's a very good game. It is a bit more bland and there's a lot less going on than in Tekken, but it's a very technical, very difficult to learn game, and I really appreciate what Virtua Fighter brings to the table. Also, Akira is just such a difficult character to play, in my opinion anyway. It would be so cool to see how the Tekken team transfers him over to the Tekken universe, given that things have become a bit more simple in Tekken as time has gone on. And I think his fighting style is kind of similar to Leo's, so it would be cool to see that on screen. Also, he kind of looks like Ryu as well, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But Akira is a really cool character. He's the face of Virtua Fighter, and I think it would just be really cool to have a Virtua Fighter character in Tekken representing that universe. And hopefully when Virtua Fighter comes back, if it comes back, it will gain a boost from being in Tekken. They'll be like, oh, that's that guy in Tekken, I want to play that game. You know, I want fighting games to do well, and I feel like Tekken it would be a very good jumping off point for Virtua Fighter and Akira. On top of that, I'm a Virtua Fighter fan anyway, so I'd love to see that. The second character that I'd like to see in there is from a movie. That movie is John Wick. Now, I originally would have said that this character is better off in Mortal Kombat given the brutality in the John Wick films, but then again, we have Negan in Tekken, and I would have thought he would have been better for Mortal Kombat. Now, the reason that I'm not going to put him on a Mortal Kombat list anymore is because I don't think NetherRealm is ever going to make a good Mortal Kombat game again. That's just my opinion. I would rather they put an asset or a character like John Wick to good use in a game like Tekken, which we already know, for everyone that's played the CNT and the CBT and has played it at events, that Tekken 8 is going to be the premier fighting game going forward. So I'd love to see John Wick in there. John Wick's fighting style, I believe, is judo, and it's not really a fighting style that is represented too much in Tekken, not to my memory, and I don't think it's represented in Tekken 8, so I think it would be really cool to have that fighting style, and then obviously Keanu Reeves' likeness on the character would be absolutely amazing. You know, even if we didn't get John Wick, it'd be cool to have a judo fight, or I don't think there's a judo fighting style in the game that I can remember, and if there is, then my apologies, but it's obviously not very memorable. So John Wick would be an awesome addition to the game. It would be very left field again, like Negan. Obviously the brutality would have to be toned down because Tekken's it's just not that kind of game, and more of the focus would be on his judo throws. I don't want to see too much gun action, although I wouldn't mind, and I think it would complement the new character, what's his name again, Vincent Chevalier or something like that, the new French character in the game. I think it would be cool to have him and John Wick have a special interaction, so I would love to see that. The next character on here is a character that's been requested for a long time. He's actually a character from my favorite single player game of all time, and that is Yakuza, and the character is Kiryu. Now, Kiryu to me, out of everybody that I'm going to name on this list, seems like the best fit for Tekken. The general look of Yakuza reminds me of Tekken, and I don't feel like it'd be very hard to put him in this game, given he has so many fighting styles in the Yakuza franchise and he is massively popular. You know, Yakuza was already a very popular game, and then I think it was PewDiePie or someone, they blew up the Baka Mitai song and it became like a meme, and the popularity exploded even more, which is great. You know, Yakuza to me is the best single player game ever created. The franchise is absolutely amazing. The new game that has just come out, The Man Who Erased His Name, unfortunately I have it. I haven't had a chance to play it because I've been too busy doing some other stuff, but in December I'm going to get my hands on it. But I have no doubt, given the fact that every Yakuza game I've played I've enjoyed, and that's not just me being a fanboy. From the mainline series to Judgment to even the Black Panther ones and the Samurai ones, they were all really, really good games. So I can't wait for that, and I can't wait for Yakuza 8, but I would love to see Kiryu in there. Now, the argument for Kiryu not being in the game is that he doesn't hit women, and I think there's a really simple fix for this. I think that whenever you're up against a female character, the game should automatically switch Kiryu to Ichiban, and Ichiban can just use Kiryu's moveset. I don't think anybody's going to particularly care, you know, as long as we get a Yakuza representative in the game. Now, I think that it's a little bit silly to not have him in there. We've seen characters that don't historically beat women before. You know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's not going to turn him out to be a misogynist. There's a lot of characters that I haven't seen beating women up at length in video games, and then you put them in another game and suddenly they're beating the crap out of everyone. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's a Capcom vs Namco vs Sega game, like an RPG handheld game. I'm pretty sure Kiryu's in that, and I'm pretty sure I saw him beating the tar out of a female character. So that argument is a little bit stupid to me. You know, you're depriving people of playing Kiryu in Tekken over that is ridiculous. But the fix for that could just be do a costume change. Just have Ichiban take over Kiryu's moveset, and you know, that's it. They're kind of the same build. No one's going to care that Ichiban is using Kiryu's moveset as long as we get Kiryu in the game, if you want to be petty about it. But ideally, just put Kiryu in the game. And you know what, you could even do this. You could do a little thing. Every time he punches or kicks a woman, just have him say sorry. People will laugh at that. Have him say sorry throughout the entire match. It'll be a meme. It'll be hilarious. But I think they should put Kiryu in the game. Next character I want to throw in there. Now, this might be a bit controversial for some people. It's not for me, personally. Just because I've been watching the anime and it makes more sense. Now, we got this fake teaser trailer a long time ago for Baki. Baki Hanma was going to be in Tekken 8. Now, if Baki is in Tekken 8, you ain't going to hear me complaining. I think the anime is fantastic. I love Baki. However, I do think that Yujiro Hanma would be a better fit for Tekken than Baki. He's just insane. And I would love to see him going up against the Mishimas. You know, he's this guy that is the strongest creature on Earth. You know, and I know Baki, I haven't gotten to the end of Baki Hanma yet. I've just gotten halfway through the new Baki Hanma season on Netflix. You know, Baki might beat him, I don't know. Please don't spoil me in the comment section. I know one bastard is going to do it. Yujiro to me just seems like a better fit. He's such an insane, bombastic character. I would love to see him in Tekken 8. Now, the next two characters, I'm only going to pick one of them, but it's going to be based on who gets into Tekken. Because I already said Akira earlier, I would like to see Ryu in the game. I'm saying this as long as they implement Ryu differently to how they implemented Akuma. I don't want to see these stupid 2D jumps. Make him a Tekken character. I don't mind if he has a fireball, that's not a problem. But these weird 2D jumps, remove them. We're not in the 2D universe. Make them jump like Tekken characters, the same way you design Negan. Negan jumps like a Tekken character. As a matter of fact, Negan is the most Tekken character of all the DLC characters, I would say. So if they put Ryu in the game, make him jump like a Tekken character. But I would like to see him in there fighting Jin or fighting Akira. I think that would be really cool. The other character I was going to say is Sagat. The only way Sagat makes it into this game is if Fakuram makes it into this game. If Fakuram is in this game for DLC, I would love to see Sagat take him on. I think that's a dream match for a lot of people. You know, Fakuram looks like a Baki character. You know, it looks like we have a couple Baki characters in the game because, let's be honest, Feng Wei is an evil Retsu. He's a spitting image of Retsu. He's just evil. That's the only difference. So I would like to see Sagat in there if Fakuram gets in there. If not, I'd like to see Ryu in there if Akira gets in there. So those are my Street Fighter picks. Next character I want to see would be a replacement for Geese, and it would be Rock Howard, his son. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because it would be nice to have a King of Fighters / Fatal Fury character or Mark of the Wolves representative in there. It'd be nice to have all the most popular fighting game franchises represented in Tekken. I think that the way Tekken is designed, you can kind of make a moveset for anybody. So I think Rock Howard would be awesome. Obviously, he's got very similar moves to Geese. Some are obviously different. He's got his own spin on them. But I think he would be a nice addition to the game as a representative for SNK. And Rock is just a cool character in general. I've always liked Rock very much. I prefer Geese, but we've already done Geese. You know, I don't want to see him come back just yet. I'd like to see Rock Howard. The next character is probably the most left field character in this, but I want you guys to hear me out. Just hear me out. The next character I'd like to see in this game is The Undertaker. Now, before we click off the video, just hear what I have to say. So, Tekken's always represented wrestlers really, really well. And obviously, the main wrestler we've got in Tekken 8 is King. I'm sure it's not going to stay that way. I'm sure we're going to get Marduk and Armor King and possibly other wrestlers. But I would love to see The Undertaker in here for a couple of reasons. Now, The Undertaker in the WWE was always presented to us as this supernatural, larger-than-life being who had all these powers that he could teleport, he could shoot lightning, he could summon fire. You know, he had this whole dark story where he rose from the dead and all this stuff. And I think you could use those like anime-esque attributes of The Undertaker in real life in the game very well. For example, his Heat Smash could unlock his lightning abilities, for example. He has so many abilities in the WWE, and he comes across as this like immovable object that I think it would be really cool to transfer the real life Undertaker's likeness into Tekken and actually give him supernatural abilities, because Tekken's full of characters with supernatural abilities. I think it'd be cool to have a WWE tie-in where you can have a Tekken match in a WWE arena. Like, imagine a Tekken match in WrestleMania. How cool would that be? I just think that would be amazing. Like, and The Undertaker, although I might have picked Brock Lesnar, there's just less that you can do with Brock Lesnar, even though he makes sense for a fighting game because of the way he fights. He's been in the UFC. The Undertaker would be so much fun. There's so many things you could do with him, and I'm sure they could make an awesome moveset. And imagine the matches between King and The Undertaker in a WWE ring. A WWE tie-in. That would be absolutely fantastic. At least I think so anyway. So The Undertaker would be a pick for Tekken. I know nobody's probably thought of that. It came to mind and I thought, you know what, that would be incredible. The next pick is going to be Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star or Hokuto no Ken, depending on where you watched it. Fist of the North Star is one of my favorite animes. Hokuto Shinken is the fighting style that Kenshiro used, and to be like very blunt and make this one a quick one, that is such a perfect fit for Tekken. There's so many things that you can do with Hokuto Shinken. It wouldn't be the craziest thing we've seen in Tekken either. Also, it would just be cool to see him fighting Kiryu, if Kiryu made it in there as well. So I would love to see Kenshiro in a Tekken game at some point. Next character is going to be a representative of Mortal Kombat. Now, I really sat and thought about this because my favorite character in Mortal Kombat is Scorpion. But I thought to myself, I don't really want to deal with that spear and the hellfire that comes from underneath your feet in a Tekken game. That doesn't seem very cool. Who could I pick from Mortal Kombat that's like a bruiser that would just run you over? Doesn't necessarily need their weapon. They can just beat the piss out of you with their bare hands. And I landed on Shao Kahn. There's been iterations of Shao Kahn where he hasn't used his axe always, especially in Mortal Kombat 1. He doesn't have his hammer / axe in one of his fighting styles. He can actually drop it and just start beating the crap out of you. I think that would be really cool to have a hand-to-hand version of Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, because he's a very overwhelming bruiser character. He's very, very powerful. He's another guy that you could say could go up against the Mishimas. You know, he's fought on par with gods, and I think Shao Kahn would be a great representative for this game. He's got one of those very like over-the-top, very charismatic personalities, and I think that would fit so well. You know, it's a shame that Heihachi's not coming back, because I feel like Heihachi and Shao Kahn would have some real chemistry, and people would love to see that sort of fight. So Shao Kahn would be my Mortal Kombat representative. That brings me to my last pick. My last pick, some people may not like it, but I thought, Tekken had a character in Ultimate Ninja Storm. They had Lars in there. And I thought maybe it's high time we had a Naruto representative in Tekken. And the character I'm picking for that is Naruto. Now, you might be thinking, why would you pick Naruto out of everybody in that universe? Well, one, he's the main character, so it'd be great to have the character's name slapped into Tekken. I think that would bring so many people over to the game. And two, Naruto's got some sick hand-to-hand fighting. Like, his taijutsu is on point. I don't know if any of you have seen the Momoshiki fight. that is in the Boruto anime and is in the Boruto film. But you know, he's got that hand-to-hand Ip Man style going down. I think it would be really sick to have him over in Tekken. We have Raven there as well, who is another ninja. He has shadow clones as well, so I think that matchup would be awesome. Especially because Naruto is now the Hokage, he's an adult, he's way more powerful than what he was in the original series. I think he could hold his own in the Tekken universe, even beat a lot of people as well. So I think a Naruto representative would be really cool. Also, that one would be, in my mind, very easy to do because Naruto and Tekken are under the same company. So it doesn't seem like too much of a stretch for Harada to walk down the hallway and be like, yo, you guys use Lars in Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. Let us use Naruto in Tekken 8. Boom, Naruto's in. So those are the 10 characters off the top of my head. Let me know what you guys think of those picks. Those are the people that I would like to see represented in Tekken 8. Obviously, everybody's got their own characters, and I've probably missed a bunch of cool characters. Let's not forget, because of Negan, anything is possible at this point. So let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Always helps the channel out. And I will catch you guys soon. There will obviously be more Tekken 8 footage coming up when the game comes out, or if we get another beta. I've been very busy, so I haven't had the chance to do a lot of reaction videos. Just been uploading like bits of gameplay from when me and my friends are playing horror games, and you know, I might upload some leftover Tekken stuff I've got. Anyways guys, I will catch you very soon. Take care and peace.